All right, everybody, welcome to the Ward F Community Caucus. I'm your host, Erica Walker, with the Office of Councilman Gilmore. Each and every other Saturday, these Saturdays before the City Council meeting, we host this community caucus to get feedback from the community right before each council meeting. So council meetings are when when the city council members vote on laws, resolutions, ordinances, the ways in which we use your tax dollars, what street lights we're going to put up, if we're going to put up stop signs, if we're going to change traffic, rent control laws. All of this goes down during Wednesday's council meetings. With your council members representing you, supposedly. So this is how we make sure Councilman Gilmore is representing Ward F by having a very transparent process in discussing all of the council meeting items and getting your feedback so that he can take them to the administration, asking all the questions that you have questions about. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the city council agenda. And if you are watching this on demand, you can send in your questions via email at ewalker@gcnj.org. Again, that's ewalker@gcnj.org. You can also email Councilman Gilmore directly at fegilmore@gcnj.org. And so you'll see on my screen, I'm at everythingwardf.com. You'll click on Community Caucus to take you to the caucus page so you can see all the dates of the future council meetings and future community caucus meetings. And this nice big blue button is how you can join the Zoom. To view the city council agenda, we're going to click on that yellow button. And the next city council meeting is on June 25th of 2025. And I like to split my screen so I can see the council agenda on the left side and each individual item on the right. We go through this kind of fast because there's over 50 agenda items. Anybody joining the meeting, feel free to ask me to pause or slow down or go back to discuss any item further. But again, if you're watching this on demand, feel free to email us your questions, comments, concerns, and you can find out all of our contact information on our website. Again, that's everythingwardf.com. Click on Contact Your Councilman, and you'll be able to have our direct email addresses, phone numbers. You can set up a meeting depending on if you're a city employee, constituent, or land use applicant. You see all of our email addresses here. I'm Erica Walker. We have Lanisha, Tina, and Gina also in the council office working for you. And of course, Councilman Educational Gilmore. So without further ado, we're going to discuss the regular meeting agenda of the Municipal Council taking place on Wednesday, June 25th. We'll review our ordinances and first readings. These are laws that are going to be introduced at the next meeting. They do have to be voted on twice. So they're read into the record. They're introduced at the first meeting. And then at the next meeting, they'll be voted into law. So first we have 3.1, an ordinance of the Jersey City Municipal Council amending the Jersey City official zoning map. So we'll go down to the purpose box to see why they're amending the zoning map. What are they changing? So it says here, it's a minor update to the official zoning map regarding a change along a portion of Palisade Avenue, rezoning properties from the R3 district to the RC2 district. This ordinance is a result of community meetings with council people and community associations. The planning board recommends adoption of this ordinance and confirmed it comports with the goals and objectives of the master plan, attaches the map showing the change, staff memo, and planning board resolution. So we went through something similar last year or 2 years ago when they changed the R1 zoning area. And R1 is residential 1 to 4 I'm sorry, I think it's 1 and 2 families are R1 homes. R3, I believe, is more than 2 family homes. So we'll see the zoning map. This is the Palisade area. And so we have the existing RC1, existing RC2, and R3 to RC district is what's being proposed. So Looks like a number of the lots on the East Palisade Avenue near Hoboken are currently zoned R3. It's recommended that these lots are rezoned from R3 to RC2 to continue the rezoning of this corridor conducted in phase 1. So this area consists of 8 separate tax blocks consisted of 4 and 5-story multi-unit residential buildings and 3 or 4-story 2-unit buildings. The lot widths range from 18 feet to 50 feet. The existing densities range from 44 units an acre to 157 units per acre, with a median density of 45 units per acre and an average density of 82 units per acre. So a unit is an apartment, right? So it could be a 1-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartment. And then, so they're saying this can have 44 apartments per acre. And some can have even up to 150 apartments per acre. So that's increasing the density. That's tripling the density of these areas. So this is allowing them to go higher, because how do you get density unless you do go higher? The existing front yard setbacks range are either 0 feet or around 20 to 24 feet from the sidewalk. All lots are developed as residential, no existing mixed use. So they're proposing to permit 4 and 5-story buildings with the maximum density being 75 units per acre. There is no standard for front yard setbacks. This change mostly aligned with the bulk and use is related to RC2. However, there will be some non-conforming conditions. 4 of the 8 lots are below the minimum lot width in the RC2. Lots with at least 25-foot lot width are required to have commercial. 4 of the lots are at least 25 feet wide, and since no lots are mixed use, there will be some pre-existing no conforming. So this is going to bring more businesses to the area if they have to have mixed use. So they have to have a business at the bottom and then apartments on the top. So it's going to make the neighborhood more walkable and walk friendly, which is good. That's in line with the master plan, but it's also going to increase the density. And I don't say anything about parking. So what the master plan currently says, developers only need to build 1 spot per every 4 bedrooms. That means if you have 4 1-bedroom apartments, that's only 1 parking spot that's going to be built. So this is an opportunity for the community to come out before this change goes into effect. I think we need to edit, in my own personal opinion, I feel like we need to edit the master plan to reflect more parking. They changed the master plan during COVID while we were all in our houses trying to survive, trying to stay alive. We were not paying attention to the master plan meetings. At least the majority of the city wasn't. And I think the city needs to do more outreach, because the parking scenario is just, it's ridiculous. But until the master plan is edited, that's all developers have to build is 1 parking spot for every 4 bedrooms, which is for every 4 1-bedroom apartments, or every 4 studio apartments. They only have to build 1 parking spot, which is not enough because people are coming with their cars. Anyway, that's the Palisades. I wanted to review that because zoning laws change everywhere. And so in case we have an opportunity again, that zoning laws will change in Ward F, we can at least learn from other areas of Jersey City and what they're going through, because the increase in development is coming to Ward F. It is already here, and it's just going to increase as these developers get to know the Greenville and Bergen Lafayette areas. 3.2 is an ordinance amending chapter 160 fees and charges, establishing zone 3 permit fee. So zone 3 is going to have a permit fee now for food truck parking, and the fees will be looks like $4 an hour in Torrent food truck parking for zone $4 an hour for zone 2, $4,200 per year to be paid in 5 monthly installments due on the 1st of each month. So that's just changing the fees for food trucks. 3.3 is an ordinance amending chapter 218 multiple dwellings, section 12, preventing algorithmic rent fixing in the rental housing market of the Code of Ordinances. This is awesome. This is sponsored by the Office of Councilman Solomon. I believe. They did a lot of research about this. There's also a federal lawsuit currently with regards to this technology being used across the country to create a false market. So it's great that we're tightening this up and we're doing what we need to do to protect our renters. Jersey City is 70% renters, so we definitely need to make sure we're taking care of these constituents. 3.4 is an ordinance of the City of Jersey City Municipal Caucus for the amendments to Chapter 345 to 31 of the Land Development Ordinance regarding the General Development Checklist. So the General Development Checklist will have an amendment to it. Let's see if the purpose box will tell us what's going on. To update this section of the Land Development Ordinance regarding the General Development Checklist. In recent years, the Jersey City Licensing and Permitting website has permitted city planning to digitize processes. The Jersey City Planning Board has determined that the General Development Checklist required updates regarding digital submissions, stormwater management, and removing text related to an older version of the inclusionary zoning ordinance. So we're just cleaning things up, tidying stuff up so we can be more efficient in our processes. All right, on to our second readings. These are all readings that passed the first reading. They were introduced at the previous meetings or the last meeting, and now they are going to be voted on and will take effect as official law within 30 days. 4.1 is an ordinance opting into the Garden State CPACE program to facilitate the financing of CPACE projects. This is so developers will be able to apply for these funds now that Jersey City is opting into this grant opportunity. 4.2 is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 90, Animals of the Jersey City Municipal Code. So the purpose box, see if we get a summary. I'm crossing out a lot of language. And it just says they're updating it. So we'll get more clarity when they present this at the caucus on Monday. 4.3 is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 99, barbershops and beauty parlors of the Jersey City Municipal Code. I'm going to go to my notes from last week because, as I mentioned, all of these were voted on last week. So we'll have more information on our caucus notes. If you ever want to get a review of what was discussed at a caucus meeting, you can access our caucus notes as well. Everythingwardf.com, click on Community Caucus, and this big yellow button here, the second yellow button, is for our 2025 caucus meeting notes. So it's a spreadsheet with all of the caucus agenda items. If you look at the bottom, you'll see all of the dates of the previous council meetings. And so I'm going to go to June 11th. And this is when we discussed ordinances. So barbershops and beauty parlors. This is defining cosmetology services. Those definitions also now include massage parlors. The state requires a license for each person conducting services. The fee was increased 40% from $200 to $350. And there are no industry standards. And then let's see. So now it's 4.3. We just talked about that. 4.4 is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 160, fees and charges of the Jersey City Municipal Code to revise the fees for Section 3, alcoholic beverages and cannabis, Section E, Section F, Chapter 175, Section U. So we'll go to our greetings, Auntie. How are you? Welcome aboard.
Have the great grand, so I got to put it on mute. Okay.
No problem.
Yeah.
So 3.4 is about changing fees for the various licenses and permits for these departments. Chicken coop license is going from $50 to $70. Kennels are going from $10 to $200. Animal reclaim, no longer a standard, now escalating to deter repeat, $70 for first time, $125 second time. Okay, so repeat repeat calls for animal care is going to be on a sliding scale, is going to be going up for each additional call. Like for a call for a cat will start at $15 and then go to $25 and $35. There's also been an update because we're not operating animal control for the previous decade, and so it's been sent to the health department. So, okay, so I remember this conversation because Jersey City's animal control was outsourced. It was a third party was providing these services previously. since the city took it over last year, now we have to update everything because we haven't had this responsibility in over 10 years. So we're updating that. Going back to the meeting. So we talked about 4.4. 4.5 is an ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 175, food handling establishments, food vendors, article 3, food establishments, and I believe this is again for the 12.5 is I think for the food trucks again, mobile food vendors. Yeah, so this is again for the food trucks, updating the list of permissions. 4.6 is an ordinance amending chapter 182. That's what I just, and that's for health and sanitation. 4.7 is an ordinance amending and striking ICE from the Jersey City Municipal Code. 4.8 is an ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 207, laundries and dry cleaners. Because we don't have any more coin operated. They all do the cards now that you can refill. And 4.9 is an ordinance amending chapter 296, article 2, closure of the public right of way of the city code requiring council approval for certain applications for street closures. So if you want to close the street for a prolonged period, like more than a day or more than 4 hours, I think, you would have to get council approval. So you can't, it's not just cultural affairs. I mean, cultural affairs, I mean, has many approvals as well that it has to go through, but this is adding another step that the council will also have to approve. And it looks like they're specifying full and half marathons of any length. There. Okay, because we all know the marathons do impose on our quality of life when they do come. Welcome, Edward Perkins. We just wrapped up the first and second readings. They all had to do with either rent fixing and or fines and fees for food trucks and animal control and barbershops and beauty salons. We're going to move on to our resolutions. Currently, we have 21 people signed up to speak for a public hearing. If you would like to speak during the public hearing, you do need to sign up to speak, and you can get there by visiting everythingwardf.com, clicking on Community Caucus, and scrolling down to the sign up to speak link. Any questions so far with regards to ordinances, first reading, second readings, or signing up to speak? I'll move on to resolutions. It's how we spend our money. It's also how we honor and acknowledge persons, places, and things and locations in Jersey City. Resolution 10.1 is a resolution authorizing an emergency temporary appropriation for calendar year 2025. We'll continue to do this until the budget is approved, then we can approve the rest of the 2025 budget. Until then, we approve it little by little so that we don't have to shut down government services. 10.2 is a resolution to cancel a portion of 21 to 25 real estate taxes on block 11704, lot 4, due to the declaration of taking order. So they're going to the exempt status due to taking order. What does taking order mean? Is it a Jersey City property? Declaration of taking. So I just need clarity on what a declaration of taking means. The owner in fee title to certain parcel known as Hackensack River and further described. Dublin Avenue LLC is the owner. Superior Court declared an order, taking order, the state of New Jersey. Okay, so the commissioner of transportation has acquired a portion of the lot. Okay, so then they don't pay taxes because it is the government. 10.3 is a resolution honoring Teresa Walker for her outstanding contributions to music, youth development, and cultural legacy of Jersey City in celebration of Black Music Month. And the following 6 Black Music Month resolutions are all to pay homage to people from Jersey City who were born and raised in Jersey City or started their music careers in Jersey City. June is Black Music Month. So these are all sponsored by the Office of Councilman Gilmore. We did this for the first time. So the Office of Councilman Gilmore last year for the first time recognized Black Music Month by honoring, I think we honored about 12 musicians last year. So we're doing it again, honoring Teresa Walker. 10.4 is a resolution recognizing and honoring the dynamic bell tones in celebration of Black Music Month. Full disclosure, my dad is a part of the dynamic bell tones. Teresa Walker is my auntie. So I'm so glad that they can be honored this year for their contributions to music and culture in Jersey City. 10.5 is a resolution honoring Julian Myers for his outstanding contributions to music and the Jersey City community in celebration of Black Music Month. 10.6 is a resolution honoring Alan R. Cherry for his outstanding contributions to music and culture in the community and in celebration of Black Music Month. 10.7 is a resolution honoring Chill Rob G for his pioneering contributions to hip hop and musical excellence in Jersey City in recognition of Black Music Month. 10.8 is a resolution honoring Jeanette Walker, another one of my aunts. I have a very musically inclined family, for her outstanding contributions to music education and culture during Black Music Month 2025. She also just retired. She's a Jersey City public school teacher. 10.9 is a resolution honoring Soul Generation for its lasting contributions to music and culture in recognition of Black Music Month. If you haven't ever seen Soul Generation perform, they are still performing in and outside of Jersey City, led by
Clifford Perkins,
yes,
my cousin's husband.
yes. And so Cliff Perkins is also worked for Jersey City. He retired a couple years ago, but he puts on a show. So shouts out to all of the musically inclined folks in Jersey City getting their roses this month at this next city council meeting for Black Music Month. And a lot of people graduated from Snyder too. Snyder birthed a lot of musically inclined people. They had an awesome music program. So I heard. 10.10 is a resolution to commemorate the life and legacy of Miss Lily M. Fleming. 10.11 is a resolution to commemorate Monumental Baptist Church's 125th anniversary. 10.12 is a resolution of the City of Jersey City Municipal Council commending the Knights of Rizal, New Jersey chapter, as it commemorates the 164th birth anniversary of Dr. Jose P. Rizal. 10.13 is a resolution authorizing the City of Jersey City to accept a gift from RWJ Barnabas Health. What is this gift? It's valued at $14,000. To specifically support ongoing programming with the Test and Go kiosks. Awesome. 10.14 is a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City authorizing an award of program contracts to various nonprofit awardees for the summer of 2025. So a review committee was formed to evaluate this and score the proposals consisting of the following members: Tom Best, Jessica Garita, Elizabeth McCann, Dewanda Sabs, and Morgan Spann were all on this committee, and they selected, let's see who they selected to get some awards. Oh, beautiful. Look at all these nonprofit organizations getting money. So it looks like it's ranging from anywhere from 45 or 2,700 to 10,000. And here is your list of nonprofit organizations. So it'd be good to reach out to these organizations. I'll ask one of the members of the Office of Councilman Gilmore to reach out to these organizations to get their flyers. Since they are getting program funding, we'd like to know what programs these are so we can promote them so the community can take advantage of these programs. So that's beautiful. Love to see nonprofits getting money. 10.15 is a resolution of the City of Jersey City Municipal. Oh, you know what? I want to go back to this one real quick. Because there was an issue at the last council meeting with regards to nonprofit organizations, it's one thing for them to be awarded this money, but what do they need to do to make sure they keep this money? What are the compliance steps? Because we don't want another situation like PAL had. PAL came out to the meeting because they were not reimbursed for some of their expenses for whatever reasons, but it seems like it was because they didn't know better, or they weren't told specifically what would qualify for reimbursable expenses. So we want to make sure that these nonprofit organizations are being properly led and properly informed before they start spending this money, to make sure that they'll be able to recoup what they spend, and make sure that they'll be able to qualify for continuing to get funds from the city of Jersey City. Because a lot of these nonprofit organizations are very small. They don't have finance departments or, auditors, in-house auditors to keep them on track. So we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to provide them with all the information they need to be successful with continuing to get grants. 10.15 is a resolution of the City of Jersey City Municipal Council authorizing the city to enter into a memorandum of agreement with Local 68 for a successor collective negotiations agreement with the term of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2027. And the memorandum of agreement, just gonna go to the purpose box to see what the agreement is. But the base salary and longevity were applicable. Okay, so it's for boiler operators and senior boiler operators. 10.16 is resolution authorizing an award of contract to Carasoft Technology Corp. for Learn, eForms, and Insight Software annual licenses through the U.S. Communities Government Purchasing Alliance, known as Omnia Partners, for the Department of Administration's Divisions of Human Resources. 10.17 is a resolution rejecting all bids received by the City of Jersey City on November 19, 2024 to provide real estate portfolio and tenancy management software for the Division of Community Development. This is so important. We need tenancy software because we do not have an established list of all landlords, for instance, or all apartments available, or so it's super important to get this software in place, because trying to do this in-house takes a lot of manpower. We're rejecting all bids. I'm wondering how many times we've rejected all bids. Are we in the portion of the process where we can negotiate, or do we need to go out to bid another time before that happens? But they're going to be providing real estate portfolio and tenancy management software. And this would, I'm really interested in seeing how close we are getting that. 10.18 is a resolution authorizing the business administrator to execute discharges of mortgages encumbering various properties that received homeowner repair program assistance. So we, to my knowledge, we don't provide these funds anymore. This program was paused, but we are looking to bring this program back. But funds were dispersed back in 2001. So we're discharging mortgages. So this is good news to hear that people have successfully completed their mortgage program. 10.19 is another resolution executing discharges of mortgages encumbering various properties that received more home repair program funds. 10.20 is a resolution authorizing the business administrator to execute more discharges of mortgages encumbering various properties that received the Golden Neighborhood Home Ownership Program First Time Home Buyer Assistance from 2002. And if you are looking forward to getting information about how you could apply for these types of funds, that would be the Office of Community Development. Again, you can reach that office by going to our website, everythingwardf.com or thepeopleswardf.com, and click on Housing, Economic Development, and Commerce, HEDC. Will then bring you to the Community Development page, and you can learn all about their grant opportunities. So they have public notices, housing preservation, community development is where you would want to go to see what kind of community development grants are available for the city. Or you can call the division director, Deja, to learn more about that. 10.21 is another discharge of mortgages. 10.22 are more discharge of mortgages for other grant programs. 10.23 discharges of mortgages. 10.24 more mortgage discharges, and 25, 26. This is awesome. And 10.27 is a resolution of the municipal council condemning the anti-immigrant and unconstitutional actions taken by the second Trump administration in its first 150 days. So this is beautiful, standing up for immigrants and the likes that are being targeted by the Trump administration. 10.28 is a resolution introducing and approving the fiscal year 2026 budget of the Exchange Place Alliance Special Improvement District, directing the city clerk to publicly advertise the budget and schedule a public hearing, and directing the tax assessor to prepare an assessment roll of properties within the district upon the budget. 10.29 is a resolution accepting the 2025-2026 assessment roll of the historic downtown special improvement district of the city of Jersey City. 10.30 is a resolution adopting and ratifying the 2025-2026 budget of the historic downtown special improvement district of the city of Jersey City. I haven't heard anything about this. Was there a public hearing? Similar to the Exchange Place Alliance Special Improvement District, they have a public hearing. I'm wondering why there isn't a public hearing attached to historic downtown special improvement budget. If it already occurred, I didn't hear about it. And a part of the historic downtown area is in Jersey City, so interesting. I'll reach out to Solomon's office. Maybe they know about it, because it's just a small part that touches Ward F. 10.31 is a resolution ratifying a contract award to Royal Printing Service for printing official election machine and sample ballots for the primary election on June 10th. So that's to get them paid in full now that that is over. 10.32 is a resolution authorizing let me go back. Speaking of the election, I do want to let people know in our last newsletter, we started putting back out that flyer that says, "Are you registered to vote?" And to find your polling place. If you didn't vote in the last election or the previous election, your polling place may have changed since the last time you voted, since the ward map was updated and the zoning maps, the zoning zones, the districts were changed. So you be sure to sign up for our newsletter. We'll be sending that out in additional newsletters. You can sign up on our homepage by putting your first, last name, and email address. This way you can get that link and make sure that, one, you are registered to vote. The next election is in November, and we want to make sure you know where your polling place is as well, or you can sign up for a mail-in ballot and not have to go anywhere. 10.32 is a resolution authorizing the award of contract to Rachel's Mitchell's Oil Company for the purchase and delivery of diesel fuel under state contract for the Department of Public Works. 10.33 is a resolution ratifying an emergency contract award to McCloskey Mechanical Contractors for the HVAC replacement and repair of Jersey City 911 call center at 75 Bishop Street. And I thought the call center was moving to the public safety building. I guess they haven't moved yet. 10.34 is a resolution authorizing the award of competitively bid contract to Gateway Security, doing business as Gateway Group 1, to provide armed and unarmed security guards at various facilities. 10.35 is a resolution authorizing an award of contract. Sorry, let me slow down. While we're on this, this resolution is missing. Most resolutions tell you what department is sponsoring the resolution. As we can see, the Division of Building and Street, and even below you see Department of Public Works. This should say Department of Public Safety. So I'm just gonna click on it to confirm. Who's bringing this? Okay, so it's it's DPW that's bringing this forward. But if there are, and if public safety is in the building, we do have a question for them because we still have not received the steps that public safety is taking when there is an active shooter in or around city buildings. A couple months ago, there was an active shooting right outside the city council office, the annex on MLK, and it wasn't Kearney, it was the next block over. I think it was what's the next block over from Kearney? Anyway, it was right in front of the public safety building, and no one knew what to do. Employees were
Orient Avenue,
Orient, thank you. City employees were, I mean, traumatized at this point. You know, you hear gunshots ringing right outside your work. And there's windows lining Orient, right? I mean, windows lining all four sides of these annex buildings, and we have not received any information about what is the protocol if there's an active shooter in or outside of these buildings. Can we get bulletproof windows? You know, for these low, especially the lower building, lower level. There was video that went viral on social media with regarding the shooter. And there's been several instances. Our very own Tina Knowles, her car got shot up out on Oak and MLK. Gun violence is something that, you know, we want to address and want to continue to address. And speaking of, we are having a panel discussion about gun violence on June 26th. We made June 26th. Councilman Gilmore sponsored a resolution making June 26th an official gun violence awareness day, which we are having a panel discussion to discuss. But there are steps that we can take in the meantime to protect our constituents, to help, you know, just provide some type of plan to make people feel a little bit better, and a little bit more confident about, you know, going to work. But employees have continued to ask, and we have no protocol yet that I have seen come down with regards to addressing when there are active shooters. So again, we need to apply this pressure to the department director and Director Shea. 10.35 is a resolution authorizing an award of contract to Safeware Inc. for the purchase and installation of big top shelter tent installation and liner through the U.S. Communities Government Purchasing Alliance, known as Omnia Partners, for the Division of Public Works. What are they using? What are they tenting? $288,000. This must be like to get rid of asbestos or something. Big. We need to find out what city property this is for and why. 10.36 is a resolution awarding a professional services agreement to Fireworks for the 4th of July. Look how much money we spent on fireworks. $200,000. 10.37 is a resolution ratifying a contract award to Dell Marketing for the annual support of spatial data logic software license under state contract for the Department of Administration. 10.38 is a resolution ratifying an award of contract to Insight Public Sector for Unitrend software license and associated hardware for data backup services for IT. 10.39 is a resolution authorizing a change order for a contract with Hague Service Corp for fire alarm system modifications at City Hall. 10.40 is a resolution providing local support for Kind Buds to operate a Class 5 retail. Where are they located? .545 Newark Avenue. 10.41 is a resolution providing local support for Merits to operate as a Class 5, and they're located at .4 Jordan Avenue. 10.42 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a redeveloper environmental agreement between the City of Jersey City and Friends of Quality Education, Inc., affecting property formerly owned by the city known as Block 24301. So this developer is being designated. What is the address? Claremont Industrial Park. Do they have plans attached? Okay, so it's down by Caven Point 20 Commercial Street. So that is Ward A. And any plans? So I don't see what the plans are, what's going to be developed there, but they are being designated as the developer. So then they'll have a series of they should have some community meetings with regards to what they are proposing for this area, being that it was once city owned. So we can ask Councilwoman Ridley about that. 10.43 is a resolution accepting the improvements constructed by HRP Hudson Owner LLC to a portion of the public right-of-way known as Van Curen Avenue between James Avenue and Dunfield. So they improved this area and now they're handing it back over to Jersey City. Wonder what improvements were made. We'll ask what improvements were made. 10.44 is a resolution authorizing the award of a competitively bid contract to Educate the Block to provide workforce development carpentry-based programs. This is beautiful. So Educate the Block will provide workforce development carpentry. So that's a $680,000 program. And so we'll definitely want to reach out, make sure we get these flyers, make sure we can promote to our community, because carpentry is definitely an industry that isn't going anywhere. And we want to make sure our community has an opportunity to get trained for these jobs.
But Miss Erica,
Yes, yes,
you
sir.
know, there's always the issue with opportunity, because
Right.
we're
Just because
doing
we have the
so
training.
we're doing so well with the job training, with this environment that we've been in recently, until more recently with the president, with this administration, but with the support for uh grant funding, if for these opportunities. There's Jerry Walker, there's reentry through Jim McGreevy services, there's the Anti-Violence Coalition, and there are many others. So
Mhm.
many people in the community are in a sense being able to connect and get these certifications, these skills, right? And
Yeah.
then there's the issue with opportunity. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're seeing also too, I mean, you're well aware of it, um, union workers are coming in,
Mm-hmm.
and being overlooked with opportunity. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
just, like, people. But anyway, like when we are when everything works well and is successful, and program participants pass and they gain the skills and the services, and they get the actual licenses and stuff like that, opportunity definitely opens up for them. So we're seeing that too. Once we can get, the opportunity definitely widens, but we need to make sure that our city secures opportunity for our people, even and if after they're they gain the skills,
Mm-hmm.
that
Absolutely.
it's really just about opportunity, and there's so much development happening, like you said. So wasn't there something recently passed where Jersey City had to come first, or am I
So
mistaken?
that was with regards to affordable housing,
Ah,
where if a developer received funds from Jersey City to help them build, and
mm-hmm,
no
mm-hmm.
funds, no federal funds, it doesn't apply if they got federal funds or if they got state funds. Only if they got Jersey City funds, then their affordable housing opportunities need to go to Jersey City residents first. Like Jersey City residents need to get first right of refusal to those opportunities. But if they got federal funding, they have to open it up to the country. If they got state funding, they have to open it up to all state New Jersey residents. But if they got municipal funding, then it would be just for city residents. And yeah, that's just for but we might need to look into, or we not might, but we should look into how we can write some laws that say the same thing. Like if you got Jersey City funding, then you need to hire people from Jersey City.
Erica, question, who's this, the money that they have, who's distributing the money and offering the courses? I don't, when you're giving the break, talking.
Sure. This is coming from the business administrator. It's a competitively bid contract. Where are these funds coming from? So yeah, it's
Mhm.
yeah, I need to see what that's a good question. What department does this fall under? Like is it, I would think it's HEDC because this is the type of things that they do. But then I'm also looking at the I was going to the Office of Diversity's website because that's another department that needs to be brought into the conversation. Like maybe they can be the middleman between the training program and the developers to make sure that they're talking, right? We essentially we need like those headhunters to make that bridge, because I mean, there's some workforce development programs where they have a responsibility to get 80% of their students hired. Like, so they work as headhunters, they work as job recruitment and not just trainers. And I think more of that responsibility needs to be taken by the trainers as well. Like the schools should hire a headhunter to make sure that they're finding opportunities. Because Edward, you're right. These developers aren't looking for minority employees. They're not looking for Jersey City employees. We need to make sure there is somebody looking out, like specifically in the position to connect these dots. And I think that's what we're missing, right? We have the trainers, we have the people being trained, but who is the person that is talking to these developers and saying, hey, I have a workforce that you need to hire? I know Danya has stepped up and said, I will be that person. She is a contractor that is trying to help minorities and union workers get jobs in Jersey City. People get jobs. So we'll also want to make sure Danya is in this mix and introduce Danya to this program, to this Educate the Block program.
Erica, that I agree with Edward that the end result, they talk about the training, but like you said, the end result is employment. So you're right. That has to be a part of it, correct? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Great to, do that. And as Eric said, it's the end result. You're giving them the skill, but where are they going to utilize it? So that's got to be a holistic program.
Yep. And it has to be like on purpose. You can't just say, oh, we trained these people. Why celebrate the fact that you've trained all these people when you haven't gotten them jobs? So more emphasis needs to be put on the job placement part, right? Not just job readiness, but job placement. So we need to make sure people are in a position to make those connections.
What do you call when the mentorship? What is it? It's called when you can train on the job, where they're training them, where they even get a job experience by learning.
Mm-hmm.
Like that type of thing, where they're working, actually doing the job as they're training.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to look further into this. This is a nice lump of money, $608,000.
That's right. That's a lot. I know.
So
normally
are they
folks are
paying
getting
for
like
on the job training?
folks are getting like $250,000. So I wonder what this is about. This is nearly 3/4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So hopefully somebody will be present from Educate the Block. I'll definitely make a note to send an email to get more information about this program.
Thank you so
and
much.
to see if they have what is it called, a quota, like most workforce development programs have a quota. Like they don't just train you, they also have to, in order to keep this money, they have to get 80% of the trainees employed. So I'm wondering if this has that similar quota.
That's interesting too. But you know what? That's interesting. That's just all of this is interesting, but I just wish it was the city rather than educate to block, right? It was the city that was applying for these funds. And so, also too, the city's working on, ordinances and resolutions to make sure that, development, that, opportunity is secured, so now opportunity is secured, the funding to train up is secured. I see what's happening here. I just would like it to be a more, um, I would just like for it to intersect more, like for it to come together.
That's the holistic approach, Edward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a holistic
Right.
approach. Yes, because we're
Right.
doing it like Jim McGreevy. I was getting on his case, Mr. McGreevy. We're getting calls, from gentlemen who are with your program with reentry, but they're still seeking employment, or they need assistance with housing. So the structural issues are ever present, so anyhow, we can go on forever. But
Right. Yeah, it's one thing to collect data and to attract people, but how many of them are you actually helping?
yes, Miss Erica.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, those are all of our agenda items for the council meeting that is taking place on Wednesday, June 25th. I invite everyone to come celebrate Black Music Month. Shake hands with these legends, these musical legends, at 6 p.m. at the Caucus. And then, of course, sign up to speak to say your piece to the council. And I know there is also a protest taking place. I'm going to go to our Instagram for more information about that.
I did
Uh,
hear of a protest from Miss Kim from Jump for Jerry, that there was going to be for the 6-year-old who
yeah,
we tragically lost for the
yes.
vehicular homicide, and she did say that there was a formal planning for a protest and that she would get a flyer and everything soon. And I told her to please keep me informed. So, as soon as we get that information, we would share it with Ward F. And we know as soon as Ward F gets that
Oh, we
information, they
have
were
it.
going to
It's out
share
on
it
our
with.
it's
Oh,
out on our
good.
Instagram. Yeah, I have
Oh,
it on the screen
yes.
now. It's on
Oh, yes.
Monday at 5 p.m. So they're going to be protesting like the council caucus is at 4 p.m. So as soon as the council probably going to leave out the back door, but they're protesting in the front of City Hall at 5 p.m. until Councilman Gilmore has already confirmed that he will be in attendance. For those who don't know, tragically, a 6-year-old was struck by a UPS truck, I believe, struck,
Oh,
killed. And yeah, enough is enough. We've been saying enough is enough, right? We've had too many close calls, too many, near misses or even hits. But this time, this was devastating. A child on Father's Day weekend at that,
my
right in the
God,
life of his
Erica, I
father.
think they said he was with his dad too. Like, it's just, was the UPS truck going too fast and he couldn't stop? They were in the crosswalk. It's just unfair. It's just terrible.
Horrible,
Oh
but
my God. Tina
come
and
on
I, we
out.
went to the visual. The
Yeah.
turnout was amazing. I just was coming back from South Carolina with Jump for Jerry, and I
Mm,
read over the weekend there in Sumter, South Carolina with Jump for Jerry that the incident occurred. And you know what? I went to some of the parents there and I talked with them about it, but I could not talk with Miss Kim herself.
mm, mm, mm,
I
mm,
could not. I said, Edward, that touched me. I couldn't go to her herself, and do that while we were out on a trip and considering what she's enduring,
mm,
what she's had to endure.
mm,
And so I saw her yesterday as I was riding the bike and I stopped and I saw her. She was going for a walk and we stopped and um, I asked her if, what did I ask her? I asked her about him. I did. It came out, and she started crying,
mm,
and she said, yes, she received an email. The family reached out to her,
mm,
and they were wanting to see if she would be available, to share some sentiments and to join with them,
mm,
and there'll be a formal protest. And
mm,
she was going to be there and everything. And what she said specifically was that she remembers. And right when it happens, you're so sore. You understand? And nothing matters. So she didn't want to overwhelm them. She really wants it to matter. She wants it to matter. The family is so sore right now, she said, and she couldn't stop crying. And she hugged me. And I told her, as soon as you find out when that protest is, please let me know and I'll be there in solidarity. So I want to make it to caucus, obviously, and then I'm at the protest. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying not to tear up myself. I can't imagine. I can't begin. I don't want to begin to imagine.
The visual was so nice.
Whew.
They said if there are any um, elected representatives here right now, you are not allowed to take this microphone.
Mm,
You are not. And I asked specifically where the family was, and they said the family's not going to be here right now. They can't face the public, but they
mm-mm,
appreciate this, of
mm,
course.
mm,
Of course. And there were many members. And the rain came down, and
mm,
Tina and I, we left right or but we learned through Gina, of course, that the crowd did not dissipate.
mm,
Okay. The
mm,
numbers, people were there in solidarity. And so I hope that we can get some real
mm.
movement going from city council and from this administration. Has he said anything? Has he? Oh God,
Who he?
our mayor.
Oh, I haven't heard. I haven't I haven't heard if he has put out a statement, but I mean, what can you possibly he's going to try to spin it some he, I mean, what can you say? Like, people have been calling for more traffic control and safer streets for the past 4 years or longer.
Or
Like,
longer, yeah.
we have all this growth in the city and our infrastructure sucks. We have all these people coming and they don't care. They they just driving and riding their bikes or running through red lights or not stopping at stop signs because they know there's nobody checking for them. It's like that saying, who gonna check me, boo? You're not gonna get checked in Jersey City with traffic.
Is there an opportunity to speak on a traffic safety ordinance at the caucus, Erica?
Is there a traffic safety organ so that you don't have to sign up? Let me see. What is there a
Because sometimes at the caucus there's little, like, you can come up and or right.
let me see second readings if there was a traffic related one during the second reading. Otherwise, you got to sign up to speak.
Right, you got it right.
Nah, they're all related to fines and fees. I mean, there's the road closure one, but it's not related to traffic
Right,
enforcement.
right, right,
It's
right, right. Yeah.
road
No,
closure.
no,
So yeah,
thank you
you
so
would have to
much.
sign up to speak.
Yeah, I see my name isn't there, which I am a little shocked, but I may not be able to attend Wednesday's council meeting, which is the last second one of the month for the summer, right? Because
So,
then there'll be only one.
right, one in July 16th, and one in August 20th.
Right, right. Okay, so we'll be sure to sign up for July, obviously, but
Yes.
yes.
But yeah, June 25th is gonna be packed. I already know, not just for Black Music Month, but also because of the traffic reform warriors coming on out, and we support them we definitely support this call to action. Um we've I don't know what else we have to do to get the administration to take us seriously and create a traffic enforcement committee. We need a traffic enforcement division. Right now we
Yeah.
have one lieutenant assigned to traffic enforcement. Poor Lieutenant uh what is his name?
Mm,
Uh traffic. Sorry, I'm gonna get his name. Sergeant Anthony and Sergeant Travis. Two. Lieutenant
mm,
Ragland.
mm.
One officer cannot cover the entire city. And
Right,
Councilman Gilmore has asked for give us four officers, one per district. So like
right.
just come on, like give us something. To have no officers like specifically assigned to traffic is ridiculous. We need cops on bikes, like specifically for traffic. Y'all standing on the sides or standing on the corners, y'all could be checking for traffic violations.
That's right. That's right. Anyhow, Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
my
Yes.
pleasure. Thank you both for coming to the
Yes.
caucus.
She
And
had to leave. She had to go in the chat there. She put a message.
understandable. For everybody else watching online on demand, watching this after the fact, you already know you can contact your councilman, everythingwardf.com or thepeopleswardf.com. Email us your questions, comments, concerns. Otherwise, we'll see you at the council meeting on the 25th. Thank you so much, Edward,
Yeah.
and
Thank you
everybody.
very much. And you all have a great weekend. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Peace and power.